And we're live. I believe we're live.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome
How's it going?
to the Colleges 9 and 10 Variety Hour. This week you have me, Christian Galigas. I use he, him pronouns. I'm the reservations and events assistant at Colleges 9 and 10. Sadly, Jess couldn't make it today. I'm usually the one doing the production stuff in the background, but hey, I wanted in on the fun too. Today I have Kaz. Kaz, would you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Kaz Salamanca. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I am the director for the Asian American Pacific Islander Resource Center, or AAPI, at UC Santa Cruz.
And so really quick thing about AAPI, I freaking love I love AAPI because one, Asian American, but two, I'm also an alum of UCSC, and I had a lot of friends. I attend a lot of events and participated in a lot of the resources that AAPI put on. I have a framed photo of one of the events that I participated in as a panelist put on by AAPI. So I'm really excited to have you on being the director.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be able to talk with you. That's not in a meeting.
I know, right? Yeah. That's not to say that our meetings aren't hype. Our meetings are fun. I think. Yeah. Some of my.
But there's also like a flow, like an agenda. There's a point to it. There's there's the goal. There's things we have to accomplish within it.
That's true. Yeah.
And checking in and conversation is very different from we're meeting together and have a meeting, and then we'll sprinkle it with fun and side conversations and tangents versus this whole entire thing being a tangent, which is great. I like that. It's nice to have.
Yeah, so of course, with Variety Hour, this is supposed to be a more freeform conversation for those of you who are watching either live or on the VOD. But two things of business that need to go through. If there's anything you want to plug about AAPI now, and then things that you want to plug about AAPI later.
Sure. So if you folks have not heard of AAPI, so we are again the Asian American Pacific Islander Resource Center. So thank you for pulling up the website. There it is, right there, yep. Our front page. We are here to serve the entire UC Santa Cruz campus and the campus community, with the focus on the Asian American Pacific Islander population of the campus. And we also, a couple new things that we have going on. We actually just hired, and this person started last week, a SWANA retention specialist. And so Southwest Asian North African community retention specialist, serving under AAPI. The person, Gina Juanis, just started last Monday.
Hey, shout out.
Yeah. So shout out to Gina, our new SWANA retention specialist. So, the API or the AAPI umbrella is really huge, and it's a lot of different communities that we're serving and focusing on, and so this helps us expand and have more directed and more intentional support and resources specifically for the SWANA community on campus.
That's awesome. It's definitely something that there's a need for that. So being able to find the support is great. In my cursory research of AAPI, I found a blog. So there's a blog if you want to come check it out.
Yes. So that blog was started a little bit before or right around the beginning of shelter in place. No, I'm sorry. The beginning of shelter in place last school year, last academic year. And it was our interns, it was kind of it started as an alternate form of programming that wasn't bringing people together in a Zoom call for a virtual event.
Yeah.
Because at the time, it feels like such a long time ago.
It's so long, yeah.
A year ago, that people, still are, but feeling very fatigued from being attentive on Zoom and attending Zoom events all the time, or not just the classes on Zoom, the events on Zoom, and work on Zoom. And so this was a different way to engage and to give our interns an outlet to share their thoughts, their experiences with the community. in a passive way that lets people engage with it on their own time. And it's also open for contribution too. It's not just our interns that can contribute to this blog. You know,
so like if I came up with a piece, I can like submit it, and if it gets approved, ooh, Kaz, you might. I love doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then it gets some shine because when blog posts happen. Granted, we haven't done one this quarter because we've also like kind of shifted a little bit more to doing some of our synchronous like events a little bit more this quarter. But last quarter we've had a couple posts, and then when we do, we put it up on our Instagram and give that some shine too. Make sure we direct people there.
Speaking of Instagram,
there it is.
There it is.
Yeah. So we actually just recently had our interns got together. I have awesome student interns that are running our social media page, that are engaging with folks, answering questions, sending out DMs, answering DMs, and then like our outreach interns. Our interns created a photo dump. So if you have that first one that's listed, it's like all of our.
Sorry, am I clicking on it?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, if you click on that, that's like the pets of APERC. So like some of our interns and ourselves that have dogs. I don't know if you can see it multi.
I don't know. I don't know if I can see it multi either. I'm just.
Oh yeah, we should do it. There we go. So it's like multiple photos in one post. So there's a few of our dogs there. And that one's mine right there. That's Coco the Pomeranian.
You have a wow.
Yeah. He's actually like not that far away from me over there. He's asleep in his bag right now.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
And then so cool. If come check out all the APERC stuff. Looks like y'all are really active. I'm really excited and proud of y'all to be.
Yeah, it's been a good way to stay in touch, because I know it's really hard to lose, or really easy, to lose track of like what folks are doing and what's happening. But we're still here. We're still active. We're still working to provide resources and provide events, programming, whether they're synchronous or asynchronous, to the campus community. We've even started a Discord server in the past quarter. So last quarter we started a Discord server, and we're trying to get people move into it to engage and post random things like what you're eating today. And we hosted a game night every Wednesday last quarter. And we've had a few folks come through every now and then, but we were playing like Among Us or Scribblio.
Oh, nice. Yeah, community games.
Yeah, community games. Things like just to decompress and have a city break. We did that like every Wednesday.
I love that. That's so cool. Having just like as a student, knowing that even though I'm at home, I'm can't really go to like a lounge, or can't really go to an event or like the dining hall, there's still a place I can hang out with people from class, people from that I met at an APERC event. That's really awesome.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do there. And in fact, one of the channels is like the ERC lounge, because if we're in space, in the physical space, students can typically hang out in like the ERC or the Ethnic Resource Center's lounge. Where we're located at the third floor of the Bay Tree building. So one of our channels in the APERC Discord is the ERC lounge. So we're hoping that for folks who like, whether it's they've never been there or they've been there before, kind of providing that familiar space as much as we can in this work from home setting.
Yeah, that's really cool. I wish I had known that, so I could like either like get in, so I can show you like what it looks like. But that's tech stuff.
Yeah, that's another thing too, because it's like Discord's a little bit more complex. It's not as easy to navigate. Like I remember the first time I got invited to the Discord servers and trying to use it and figure it out was a while back, and it took me a while to figure out even how to get on there and how to use it. Yeah,
we've also have a Discord server set up for colleges 9 and 10 Frosh, and that was a whole thing. Like one of our students was had said, I want to set up a Discord server for Frosh and have for orientation and all that stuff. And I'd been a part of like Discord servers before. Like I'm a gamer. Discord's mainly was started out as a gaming platform, gaming communication platform. And I'm like, cool. let's set up a Discord server. I didn't realize how much work and stuff needed to go into it. I don't know if I would have, I mean, it's great. I love that we still that we have it. I would have been a little bit more hesitant on saying yes had I known the amount of work it took to be, one, make it safe for people and make sure like we're not that link isn't getting shared to everyone, but two, there are so many bots out there that can help and navigating through which ones are good, which ones did the things that we wanted, all that stuff.
Yeah, there was actually a student that works on campus for one of the colleges who's also a Discord ambassador. So like it was like it's their kind of their hustle to build Discord servers for organizations and departments and stuff like that. So we utilize like that their expertise to help build it. So ours is equipped with like bots. So like when you first make it there, we have our like community guidelines page, and then you hit, you know, like if you react with the
like an emoji or something, yeah,
it'll release like the rest of the page to you, or the rest of the channel,
give you a different role.
And then selecting roles. So like we have pronouns for the roles. We have like what year you are, or what like class level, or like what college you're from, or what a college you're affiliated with.
Yeah,
like different roles, just like little fun things that like I would not have had the time to put that in myself, but I'm so glad that somebody else
right
was able to basically just transplant their the commands of the bot from their server onto ours.
Yeah.
Super helpful.
Definitely. So I brought you in here originally to talk about Lunar New Year. This Lunar New Year is coming up, and it's, you know, huge in many cultures, like especially lots of Asian cultures. But leading up to today, I think we both learned about each other that neither of us did too much growing up with Lunar New Year stuff, right?
Right. Yeah. It's like being so Filipino American is like my heritage, and there's a lot of proximity to East Asian culture.
Yeah.
And so I'm very like I'm familiarized with like the different like the animals of the calendar of the I don't even know how to name it, but like the different animals associated with the year. Right?
Yeah, when
like
I was growing up, it was the Chinese zodiac.
Yes.
I think that's dated. I think that's a dated term now. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm not sure either. And so there was like some engagement and practice with it in the family, just knowing like what animal I'm associated with.
Yeah,
so like, I'm an ox, right?
So you're so I know we talked about this like in the you know, in the green room, but this year is going to be Year of the Ox. Yes. And I didn't realize that you are Year of the Ox. That's cool.
Yeah, so it's like that's the cycle's coming back. I don't know what that means. Like if it's like anything, if it means anything in particular, like to be an ox and it's the Year of the Ox again.
That means you're turning that means you're turning, I don't know. You're either turning 24, 12, 36, 48, who knows? I'm not going to throw it out there, but somewhere in between, somewhere in there, you're turning
somewhere between 12 and 60 something.
Yeah.
We can leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that, and the practice of like the red envelopes, those were like that was really it with my family.
Yeah. For me, I'll share a little bit about mine. I'm Year of the Monkey. I was born in 92. You can calculate age right there if you want to. I don't care. But
I can't do math that well in my head that
fine.
quickly.
But the thing is, okay, so I was here's my I tell this whenever Chinese New Year comes up and like this topic gets brought up. I was born like at a cutoff age for applying to school, so I could either be really young or really old in my class, and my parents decided we're gonna put you in, have you be the oldest person in the class, because I have a very late 92 birthday, right, and that's right at the cutoff. So when we were learning about in I think it was like second or third grade, we were learning about the Chinese zodiac, and like people were okay, cool, like we're learning the monkey is this, the rooster's this, you know, the bunny and the pig is like, these are the traits that are associated with these with the animals. And because we were kids, we didn't realize like, oh, everyone should be the same one because they're all born in the same year, right? Yeah. I was the only one in my class who wasn't a rooster. And so the teacher had Miss Beltran had prepared all these really cool like coloring pages of roosters and all that stuff, so people can like, you know, oh cool, I made a rooster and all that stuff. Being the only monkey, she didn't realize that, and it slipped her mind, and I was filling out a rooster even though I had like looked at the book and said, oh, I'm a monkey. So I was like, oh, I don't have a coloring page for my animal, Miss Beltran. And this was back in the 90s as well, so getting a printed out piece of paper to get color was a whole ordeal. It took like half an hour.
You had to go to the copier.
Yeah, exactly.
You could just like pull it off of the internet, print out clip art.
Yeah, no, there was none of that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I'm Year of the Monkey, but everyone I was growing up with was Year of the Rooster.
Well, I would also give your teacher credit. So 1992, still like to have that incorporated as like, this is a class activity. Like I didn't have that when I was in grade school, right? Like I didn't see myself reflected in a lot of the like what the class did, unless. Or like, I didn't see that. I didn't see a lot. Like
incorporating other cultures into the lesson plan is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shouts to your teacher in your school district or your school
Miss Beltran.
for being like much more inclusive at that point in time. Because I don't think I got that. I didn't get to like really understand that as a thing until I was like middle school, high school, and that's like from like doing club activities and and it wasn't in the classroom kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's not until very recently, like, okay, so that's pretty much it, that in terms of my my exposure to Chinese New Year and all that stuff, except for food. Except like around this time, like we'd go to the Asian market and there'd be all these sales on pastries and all that stuff, and I didn't understand why it was this specific time of year until high school, college, and I started learning about all these different practices. And so up until maybe about 20 something years old, I didn't take on any Chinese New Year practices, or I wasn't aware. And so I've been trying to like, learn about the Lunar New Year practices and all that stuff. So I've been trying to learn and understand like what kind of food is available, what kind of food can I make, how do people celebrate? Last
year and some of this I'm not learning until like I'm learning through this work. It was last year. Last year again. Time
so warp, long ago.
Everything feels like so long ago. One of the very last like in-person events we did with AAPI was last February. We had a like Lunar New Year celebration program where one of our interns coordinated it, and there was like 4 or 5 or 6 different kind of Lunar New Year stations that we had, or like and different ethnic like practices, like whether it was like an activity, a discussion about food, or a game that people played around their New Year celebration. Like we had different stations throughout the ERC lounge that things were played. So people were like playing like a gambling game with candies. I think there was one that was a station that was about celebrating like Southern Indian, like the Pongal, or Harvest Festival.
Oh yeah, Pongal, yeah.
And we actually had a Pongal event separately as its own event. We partnered with the ISA last year as well.
I remember that because it was in Namaste Lounge, which is the venue that I am usually in charge of booking.
Yes. Yeah. And that was great to be able to like work with the student groups to like also like to educate the campus, also educate myself, because you know, even being like the director of an AAPI resource center, like I don't know all things.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like the expert of all ethnic cultures within that, and there's a lot of learning for me to do as well.
Which is something that I feel people when they hear about like, oh, the director of the Asian American Pacific Islander Resource Center here, that you might be well versed in all of that, but that's not really true, like at all, right? That's you're there, you have a lot of experience, but you're there to also like learn new things and find ways to incorporate and introduce and open up spaces for people. Like that's really where that is at, and right?
Yeah, absolutely. And to like advocate for the communities on campus, and to have that impact on the larger scale of making sure that I'm trying to make sure that like our like the API folks and the students on the campus are have the best ability to live their best lives on the campus.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that saying still a thing? Like living your best life? Is that like 2018?
I have no I have no idea anymore. If anything,
it still makes sense though,
yeah,
right? Like,
it still makes sense. It still makes sense. Yeah, no, I think given everything that happened last year, there's no rules. There are no rules. I could say it's lit in a professional meeting, and no one would bat an eye. Like,
oh man.
Yeah. So
yeah, things move so fast. Thank you, TikTok.
Yeah.
It's all your fault.
Yeah. We're going at hyperspeed in terms of what's in the zeitgeist and what's popular and trending.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I think, okay, so this is something that we also brought up. The fact that you are also learning and that and can relate and sorry, that gives you sort of a way to connect to students and stuff, right? Terrible segue. Awful, terrible, but
I hear it. I got you.
Yeah, thank you. I remember we had talked about sort of stuff that you do that resonates with our students. I mean, we're not super old, you know, but there's also that there's still an age gap, right? So
yeah.
How are you navigating like being interested in stuff like tech, streaming, gaming, while still trying to still having that, you know, there's a student and then there's a director and there's, you know, that level of that separation of professionalism, you know, like how are you navigating that?
Yeah. Well, like with students that I work with closely, I'm very like transparent with them. I try to build a relationship with them so they don't just see me as just a person who supervises them.
Yeah.
Right. And then with students, I try to be as personal as possible. I am a person. Like I might have these titles, experience, education in certain areas, but I'm also a lifelong learner. I'm always like, and I try to like you know, share pieces of myself that help make me relatable. So that like the always a student moniker, or like not moniker, phrase.
Yeah.
It's actually been promoted by so there's this person, super OG hip hop b-boy hip hop educator named Paul Ski.
Okay.
If people can search him up on Instagram. Actually, let me pull up his credentials right now so I do him justice.
Yeah, I'm looking. Don't worry, I'm on it.
Paul Ski with 2 E's.
2 E's. Okay. 2
Yeah,
E's.
Paul Ski.
Looking it up. And then.
And so like it just sticks in my head always as a student, because it's a very hip hop centric. I don't think that's the right one. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm looking it up too.
Is it 3 E's?
3 E's?
Yep, three E's. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think I got there at the same time you did. Here we go.
One of the OGs of the Rock Force crew, b-boy crew, classic hip hop, and his thing is always a student. That's his like organization. That's his brand.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to live out. Like, I'm always learning. And and it's been my understanding like throughout my whole entire career in higher education, which I kind of, I fell into not on purpose.
Yeah.
It was, I can learn from you. Like I learn just as much from the students I work with, and then as I like impart knowledge and I impart like things upon them, I'm learning just as much.
That's cool.
So it's like always important for me to like to stay humble that way, and I know I'm super interested in things. It just so happens that things I'm interested in can also be things that folks are, younger folks or students like are also interested in. Like music, I'm a music nerd. I don't know if you can see behind me, but
Yeah.
I have a set of turntables there, right? And so you talked about streaming, you talked about like staying connected, and like that's one way to do it's through music. I couldn't imagine my life without having music be a big part of it.
Okay. Yeah. So and I guess we could, I mean, I don't want to get into the thing where we talk about music for a whole hour.
I could definitely do that too. I'm all...
Yeah, we could. Another episode. There we go. Yeah. We're writing next episodes. But yeah, like something that that we have sort of connected to in our sort of professional relationship here, was that we both play video games. We both stream and stuff. So like I kind of like not even related to anything educational. Like, what are you playing right now?
So I've started playing like Rocket League.
Okay.
Is one of them. Star Wars Battlefront 2 because it was free.
Yeah.
On the PC, and I've picked up like the Call of Duty series, and it stems mainly from, it's like my way of staying connected to, because the people I play with for the most part have been my good friends, like my IRL friends.
Yeah.
And it started like I'm not a super, like I wasn't super into FPS games, but I had a friend that, this is a little while back, I had a friend who wanted to play like what is it, Destiny? Yeah, Destiny 2.
Okay.
And this is before it was cross-platform.
Oh, okay. So you had to get
and
it.
So like, yeah. I went and like he was like, yeah, get it on Destiny 2. Let's all play together. And then so I like sold my PS4 on Facebook Marketplace to get an Xbox, because that's the system that my friend was on. And it got me started playing. And I was like, I wasn't other than I would play sports games, and those like you can pick up, play an quick online match, and put it down. I did that mostly, and I was super into NHL because I play hockey.
Oh, did not know that.
You learned a lot about me in this.
Yeah, no, that's great. This is perfect. Yes, this is what I wanted.
So I played like NHL a lot, and that was like for a long time. That was just the extent of my game. It was like playing sports games, and then hopping onto Xbox and playing Destiny 2 with my friends. It was kind of that bridge that opened that door again, because I haven't played like online games like that since internet cafes were a thing.
Ooh, yeah.
And like Counter-Strike,
yeah.
When it first came out, and you could like do LAN parties and stuff like that.
Oh man,
that was definitely like my my first experience. But then more recently, like Destiny, and then I bridged into like playing COD, and it's just a way for me to stay in touch and to like have an activity with the friends I've had, and now I've also like met new friends and met folks that I've never met in person. I'm
very much the same way
because of streaming.
Yeah, I'm very much the same way. Like, I'm a very social gamer. The whole like console war thing is that doesn't exist anymore. The main deciding factor was what other systems are my friends playing on, and so everyone was playing Halo, and so I played Halo. And Halo was an Xbox or Microsoft exclusive. That's because that's how capitalism works. And so a lot of the games that I really wanted to play I was locked off from because I only had one system. It's fine, whatever. But I derive the most fun from being able to connect with other people, compete against other people, you know, have a rival or whatever. I don't know. Not to make it like hella anime, but yeah. I, like you, way to stay in touch with not only friends but like family, and also meeting new people. Like there are a lot of folks that with Destiny. Funny you mention of Destiny is a game that I got really involved in and got sucked into a very very robust community.
Yeah.
I met a lot of really fun people. Like you join up on a team or whatever, and then you'd start playing together
for the raids.
Yeah, for the raids or like PvP, and you start you know, getting to know them, and then you know, at some point you have a lot of other people that are interested in either getting better or finding new connections. Over a long period of time, you end up, you know, getting to know some of these folks. And a few years ago, like we actually had like a giant meetup of people that, should they be able to make it, could meet up. And that was one that was weird. I will I will admit there was a little weird, like putting faces to names and all that stuff. It's not something I recommend without feeling super safe, but that's kind of like my experience with social gaming. Like that's where things are headed. Yeah.
And it's been definitely like pronounced and spotlighted, you know, through this pandemic process, like through what we've been doing. And I think what I've seen is like gamers and folks who are be able to connect, not just gamers, but folks who are able to connect, whether it's on Twitch or other platforms where you're just, because like we're social, like humans are social creatures, right? Yeah. And like there's still this need of like finding the new, finding the next, or staying connected with the same, right? And I found that like through COVID and it's been really hard to carve out that time to really stay connected in that same way with people that I typically would be.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot more energy and effort, I think, to like schedule a Zoom and to be able to see someone's Zoom face, you know, for X amount of time. I still do it once in a while, but it's way more, I guess, aligned with my schedule, just kind of what my everyday looks like now. It's much more aligned to like, I can go onto Twitch and hop onto a streamer's chat knowing that the same people are going to be there.
Yeah. And interact and
like build relationship that way. Yeah.
Watch like, it's like, you know, like watching TV together, watching sports together. You're not the one playing the game, right? But you still derive some sort of fulfillment, pleasure from watching it go, watching someone play through like The Last of Us or Uncharted or something, and building up that community, right? Yeah. Either around a personality or a game. That's something that I don't know, like we've been through a whole year of this at this point. Oh, you okay?
Wow. Yeah, a whole year.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
yeah
Look at those milestones now.
And we're and so we're seeing a lot of that and trying to tap into that. Like this has been going, like, I don't know, like if you're watching this and you're again on stream or on the VOD and you're like, this is something new. This has been around for years at this point. It's just now because everyone's at home becoming much more and more popular, more and more accessed and utilized by institutions like education. You know?
Yeah, that's one thing I want to try and do. That's like one of my goals for the year is like try to host a APERC program on our Twitch channel. We actually have a Twitch channel already. Oh, it's just that we haven't used it much.
I see.
We did one test, and then mostly because like at the time when we were trying it, we tried to do game nights and stream it on Twitch over the summertime. I didn't have a system that could support that yet. And it wasn't until like I started streaming more that like I was like, okay, I need to get a new system that can support it, that can support gaming, that can support streaming.
Yeah.
So like now that I do, I'd be down to revisit that again. But that's like, yeah, one of my my little goals for myself for the year is like, what would a program look like on Twitch? And I think that would be a great way to try and introduce that platform and that world to people who have never experienced it before.
Yeah, if you want, I mean, I've been doing this like as a hobby outside of work. If you want like tips and want to get together about that kind of stuff, and
absolutely, I'm down.
Just hit me up. You have my contact information.
Yes.
Sorry to be doing work in front of everyone watching.
No, but that's like I think that was a natural segue because. That's it's been really helpful for me in my own like just keeping me okay. The past ever I started so I honestly didn't like know much about Twitch itself until like I'd say May or June.
Oh wow.
And it was mainly because I knew it because I knew people were on it. I knew what it was. I just never like engaged on it. And it was actually because I'm again a DJ. You see the turntables.
They're back there.
They're back there. So it was I wanted to watch. There's a DJ I follow. His name's DJ Lazy Boy. He's from San Francisco.
Hey, shout out.
Excuse me. And I found out that he was doing a set on Twitch, and I was like, okay, I'll go check him out. Go support him because he competed in one recently. Not recently. Last year. That's November. The USA finals for like a DJ competition, the Red Bull freestyle.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so local to the Bay Area. I was actually I went to the Red Bull show. It was out in San Francisco. It was one of the dopest events, and like one of the last live events I went to.
Ooh. Think about that for a second.
Yeah, I think it was that, and then like the very, very last like show concert I went to was the Tuxedo, the Mayor Hawthorne and Jake one. They did a show at the Catalyst.
Oh, sweet.
And I went to that, and I think that was like the last live show I went to. Anyways, so this DJ was going to do a set on Twitch, and I went to go support and watch, and that was like my first introduction to like watching something live on Twitch.
And then you decide to go out and try it.
That was after a while. I was just watching DJs and I was like, oh, this person's on streaming. This person's streaming. So like I started building my follow. Like I started following a bunch of different folks I knew that were streaming. And this whole time, I'm a huge fan of DJs because it was like 2013 was I got my first controllers, my first set.
Oh, cool.
And so I've been like a bedroom DJ a good part, almost 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
since the last year of the Aux, maybe.
Yeah. We bring that full circle. And I just like when you watch professionals do their thing, and we watch people that are pros, and it's like learning. It's like if you love gaming, you watch professional gamers do their thing, you learn a lot. And also like you get disappointed because like, oh, I'll never be that good. It's
I believe in you.
Started watching it, and it like opened doors, and I met more people, and then there were friends of mine that started who were also DJs that started streaming, and then next thing after next thing, like I ended up because DJs so quick history of like digital streaming DJs. First, it was like Facebook Live that people were doing once the pandemic started, because like DJ, like professional working DJs, like their livelihood is like bars, clubs, lounges, weddings,
social events.
Social events that aren't happening anymore. So what first started happening is that people were turning to like Facebook Live and then Instagram Live, and people like because of laws around copywriting in music. Facebook and Instagram would like shut down the because of the algorithms and the way they're set up, it would shut down the feed. And so that just kills the flow. And it kills the viewership, and then you can't monetize that content. How are you supposed to make a living? Right. And so Twitch was like people started like finding out about it. Even that's been around full credit to the Twitch community that existed before DJs like started learning about it. And yeah, people started making their way to it, and then and I was one of them, and it's been really like helpful to be able to do that and stream and like provide vibes for people to get them through this, right? And it's nice to like it's not just like consuming but also giving back.
Yeah. That's cool. Like contributing to the library of media and content that you yourself consume. That's really cool. I figured that's I mean, I do a lot of streams as well, not necessarily music or gaming, but I mean kind of gaming, but tabletop RPG gaming. Like I've started to step out into that community, and like people know the term the show Critical Role, but like other than Critical Role, there's hundreds of streams and podcasts and other stuff, and I was like, this is something that I want to do, this is something that I want to try. And so kind of similar in that vein, it's interesting that they've gravitated towards Twitch, because I'm about to show how much like I actually like research this stuff. Twitch takes up a larger percentage of revenue from streams than like YouTube Live or something. So it's interesting that they've decided to, and also Twitch has notoriously been real crappy when it comes to music, again with the algorithms and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know how plugged in you are into that, but like we can go on
with so it's always been like it's always been an issue, a problem, like a challenge, like I think that Twitch knows with music and copyright and DMCA, and it's like when it was mainly the gamers and like the different streamers that weren't like DJs, they've been able to kind of like kick the can down the road. Per se.
They can ignore it for a while because it wasn't
because the argument was like the music isn't
the feature.
Crucial.
It's not the feature. Yeah.
And then DJs came on the Twitch, and then where that's the feature, that's what's happening, and so it's forcing the subject, it's forcing the conversation now.
I see.
And then it's like kind of forcing the hand to like pick a side or figure out what's going to happen, because it's coming down, and we'll see where this goes. I don't know. I'm not at those conversations. I'm not at the table when that happens. I just hear it passed down from. A great thing is I've been able to like make friends and to build relationships with like the professional DJs, like the people that I idolize and like my heroes in the DJ world. Like I have conversations with them on the regular sometimes.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's been really cool, and it's opened up like just being able to have access and reach to people that I never thought I would before. And so like some of these professional, like full-time working DJs are the ones who are the ones who are in the know, who kind of know what's happening, what's coming down the line. Like they're able to share what their perceptions are and like what the news they're hearing is before it gets blasted out.
Interesting. That's yeah. I mean, I've been trying to keep up with it, and because it's not I mean, it's important to a lot of people, and which is why I try to stay on top of it, and it's huge. But have you like other than like Twitch stuff, is there any other sort of platform that you yourself in your personal life or your job have been trying to branch out to, and or like new stuff that you want to try or do? Like you told me before this you were a collector. Have you tried to do like unboxing streams?
Oh yes,
because those are popular.
Every now and then, but I'm also just not patient with with like. Well, also the setup I have here, like I have to build like essentially like another studio or like another setup to be able to like stream like unboxing videos. And when it comes to like blind boxes or like those like mystery item things, I'm also really not patient. So like I'll open it right away. I'm like, okay, I'll just post this later, like what my pull was, if it was good, if it was bad.
You can't, you don't do the thing where it's like, okay, here's the thing. I need to set up my camera, set up a stream, like link schedule out like, okay, I'm gonna be opening this like this figure blind box.
Yeah, I don't have the patience for that. I know that would be cool because I have like a huge collection of Funko Funko Pops. I did a couple opens of like Pokemon card packs because I know that's like it's starting to make it's starting to make its way back again.
Yeah, people are like, I don't know where people are getting their their original run booster packs from, you know, from the when they first like, but those are super expensive, right?
Yeah, like a box. I saw someone like Ralph went off a box somewhere. It was like in the thousands of dollars for the whole box.
Yep. Because of that potential to pull that like foil Charizard, like which by itself is like $10,000.
I had one, and then
no.
This was way back in the day when I was playing Pokemon cards, right? Like when I was actually playing the game, I had the Holo Charizard, not the first edition, but
the second one.
Charizard.
The second,
yeah. And you know, after a while, I was like, I stopped playing, and then my parents, this is a thing, I don't know if this is a thing for you, but like my parents, it's like, oh, you're not using it anymore, let's send it to the Philippines.
Yes, but like my own,
yeah, so I'm pretty sure that, because I've been looking for it too for a while, and I haven't been able to track them down. I'm pretty sure those old cards were things that were like part of the let's send it to the Philippines file, along with like my old N64, along with old games. So, and like that now was like coming back in terms of like
retro games,
winning that vintage and retro games, and like but one thing I do have still is like my Beanie Babies, and I don't think that's going anywhere because those aren't super sought after again.
We lived through a time when the craze from like, you know, from old ladies down to 4-year-old kids, the craze was little stuffed toys with names.
Yeah.
We lived through that.
Nothing is like it's kind of the same now with like when you look at collectibles and like pops and like Funko Pops and just the things people collect. That's kind of always a thing, right?
I can't.
It's just what the thing is going to be different based on the current trends at the time.
I can't wait for Antiques Roadshow in 50 years.
I think someone did this already on what's the show with the pawn shop, Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars, yeah.
Pawn Stars. Someone brought first edition Charizard to get appraised and like wanted to sell it on Pawn Stars.
Yes. Oh wow.
I think this was, again, Pawn Stars is also like super manufactured. None of it's real.
Yeah. It's very sensationalized.
Yes, yeah. But the fact that like someone brought that in there, it's like yeah. And I've also seen people there was a clip of an episode where someone brought in pops to get appraised. So some of the rare ones. Yeah.
I can't wait for like I said, can't wait for like Antiques Roadshow in 50 years when we inevitably will be seeing an unopened I don't know, Pikachu Funko Pop, like first run, and then the person who's supposedly the expert is someone like that looks like us, you know,
but aged up 50 years.
Yeah, but aged up 50 years, like, oh yeah, like this is the seal that, you know, this is the certification seal that shows you can't fake that, you know. Like.
Yeah. Well, by that time, like time travel would be a thing, right? If we're fall, oh no, I'm just kidding. Because that's what like Back to the Future said was going to happen by the time 2015 was going to roll around.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But lo and behold, we're still stuck in the present.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. I've done some really good things this past year.
Yeah.
And a lot of growing. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know if I would like get down to do unboxing videos. I'm also really not delicate.
Oh yeah.
Like, so I don't know. Like I'll consider it. I'll consider it.
I see.
Maybe not unboxing, but just showing off and like talking, having conversations.
Yeah, like
about certain
a
pieces.
review, right? Like,
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I resonate with the I'm very not delicate. I don't think I can talk for 10 minutes about over the course of opening something that I've ordered, you know?
Right.
Because you got to, there's that whole thing you got to think about, like YouTube algorithms and all that stuff. They prioritize the 10-minute or 11 or 12-minute, however long video to open up just one thing. I guess that's why people do multiple unboxings. I don't know. It's just, I don't think
There's also a lot of editing that goes behind that.
That's true. Yeah.
When they're posted, and I also like I don't have the time to go in and like dive in and edit videos. That's why I like live streaming, because it's like it's live. What happens.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. I mean, doing a variety show and a bunch of other live streams over the past year, there's a little freeing aspect of things, so that the production is live. You can't really fix it, as opposed to agonizing over like whether or not the music is too loud, or like this cut is too long or something, for when you're producing a video versus producing a live stream.
Yeah. I will say though, live streaming, like you definitely need to pay more attention to equipment and like live functionality than you would if you were recording videos.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So
Tell me more about that, because I mean it's sarcastically, but like given that we're on a live stream right now and all the equipment that I'm using is stuff that I've had to build out and think about.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So like the one is like using the right program to live stream, because I was using a laptop to stream before, and using the certain like the OBS program, like so getting a little bit deep in the weeds here of like how streaming behind the scenes goes.
Yeah.
Like I when I first started, because Streamlabs, the product,
Streamlabs
broadcaster,
yeah,
that one, because it was like easy to use for beginners, right? It kind of spells everything out for you, but it also soaks up like almost all of your CPU
yeah
when you're streaming.
Yeah.
And if you're on a laptop, you don't have a dedicated like video card and all these other things, like it just makes the quality of the stream super choppy and really like terrible.
Yeah.
And that all impacts like how you're being viewed, how people engage, whether they want to keep engaging. And so all that goes into it. And so like equipment such as like the program you're using. So I bought a separate desktop from somebody on like Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. Luckily, like it had a super good processor, a video card. So I'm running a 2060.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, and the RAM, right?
Yes.
So the kind of like those essentials. Like, yeah, I lucked out. Someone sold it for a good price. It works fine. I'm able to game off it. I'm able to stream off of it, and no problems. Like, it was such a 180 from when I was streaming from a laptop.
Yeah.
And like how choppy it was to like, I was so concerned about it. I would like restart the computer every time, close out all the other programs, make sure nobody else is on the internet.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, and all those things. And then
I'm terrified.
Now it's like I'm okay, but I'm always concerned.
Yeah, no,
I'm worried in the back of my head.
I'm terrified, like because we're doing this from home. I'm terrified, like my internet is just gonna like drop out or something. I like there's no real reason why it should, other than like if it's storming or whatever. But like it's live.
Yeah.
Whatever goes wrong just goes wrong. If my internet goes out, the stream is done. It's cut. No control.
I had a really terrible experience that like traumatized me to like, after that moment I was like, okay, we're getting a computer. We're not doing this anymore. So I was streaming. This was on a Sunday. I was it's the days burning my head.
There you go.
I was streaming once, and the feed started getting really, really choppy, to the point where like the video was cutting out, and like it brought up like the that default like the video cut feed.
Oh yeah. The splash.
It was like doing that, right?
Interesting.
And I saw in my like activity feed on my stream that Austin Mills was in the room. Austin Mills followed me, and like Austin Mills is like producer.
Yeah. For those that you don't know, Austin Mills is Pretty big deal.
Yeah. And so he was in my chat. He was in my room as like right when it started happening.
Oh no!
Because he came in with a raid of like from somebody else's channel, and that's like when that raid came through. That's when like everything started crashing.
No.
And like, you know, if you get like one opportunity to be seen, it's like that's the
And
one
then
time that person's there,
and
like,
to have it be,
and to have that happen, and like I was like, oh, okay.
no.
So that like said it, and so I was like, okay, that from that point forward, I was like, okay, I went full on shopping for computers, and then with that, like yeah, because of like, I learned a lot more about like pieces of hardware. That also like brought me into like meeting folks. Like I know there's a website called like PCBuildHelper.com. Like I know the person who runs that website. Like I game with him every now and then.
That's cool.
He's a friend of mine.
Wow.
You know? So like, yeah. So like the relationships that get built from like this, like it's pretty cool. And so kind of like connect the dots a little bit, and like how the live streaming and the music stuff, how it connects kind of with my role and like what I do and like the community I serve. And so if you're familiar with like 88 Rising, the media group, and like 12 Tone Record, they have, you know, they work together to like do a lot of promotion. So I've met and I'm like friends with the promoter for 12 Tone.
Okay.
And he does work with like 88 Rising, and so he'll send me like new 88 Rising songs and groups, like stuff that they're trying to promote, and I'll play it on my streams and give them a shine and give them a spotlight.
Oh, that's cool. Wow.
Yeah. So like kind of connecting those dots together, because like I, you know, with the AAPI community and like in terms of like the visibility in media and in the music industry, it's like not quite there, right?
It's not. Yeah.
And the representation in like entertainment is not quite there. And so like opportunities I get to have to be able to put a spotlight to like API artists, I'm there for it.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
And so like, yeah, I've been able to do that and getting connected with like one of the promoters for like 88 Rising. It's pretty dope. And he's put me onto like groups and individuals of folks like I wouldn't have heard otherwise.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I would really love to continue the conversation, but we are basically at time here. We settled on an hour. I don't think it's enough, but we're gonna keep going with this format. But anyway,
feel free to bring me back anytime, man.
Oh my, yes. Okay, so we're gonna bring you back. That's just that's just the fact of the matter. So we're really glad to have you here, Kaz. If there's anything else you want to plug at the end here, and remind people who you are, so that when they watch it back, they know what to go to.
Yeah, sure. So again, I'm Kaz Salamanca. I am the director for the Asian American Pacific Islander Resource Center, or APERC, at UC Santa Cruz. I use he, him, his pronouns. And yeah, if folks are just joining in, or if you are watching like midway through, you visit our website, aperc.ucsc.edu. On that main page, you'll see a link for our newsletter. Sign up for our newsletter to get posted on like events are happening. So Christian, if you like navigate towards the middle column on the bottom where it says sign up, that's our newsletter link. If you hit that button, sign up for our newsletter. We send a weekly newsletter out in terms of our events of our partners, collaborators, people on campus, other resource centers. We have our Instagram page, our Instagram account. It's pretty active, really active actually. And that's another way to get plugged into things that we're doing, or stuff that we're putting a spotlight on for other folks who are doing awesome things for you all in the campus community while we're all virtual. And those are kind of the two primary spots to get connected with like what we're doing and what's going on with us. Because I was gonna also talk about the Discord, but then the link for the Discord's in our link tree, I think, in our profile. So lots of different ways to get engaged and is it not there?
It's not there.
Okay, never mind.
Ooh, someone's in trouble.
No, it's just because of the link. You know how like the links are timed for the most part when you create Discord links.
Yeah.
And also like we were mentioning before, like you don't want to have you want to be able to manage that somehow and make sure that people who are in the community or who are in the server are supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Well, we're APRC. We're still, in the virtual world, we're still here to serve the UC Santa Cruz community. And right there, the link on the page is we host virtual office hours. So it's one of our professional staff members. We do office hours on Zoom, so you can click the page and get the link. But office hours are 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Mondays, or 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Wednesdays. And then if you need to reach us outside of those hours, you can always email aprc@ucsc.edu, or myself. My email is kaz@ucsc.edu. I'm always accessible. I'm always down to chat. If you have questions, if I can't answer them myself, I can always connect you to the right office that can. And it's my goal is to just make sure that folks are getting the support they need, seeing themselves reflected on the campus, and find some ways to find, identify, build community through these trying times we're all in right now.
Yeah. Thank you again, Kaz, for joining me. This has been a wonderful conversation. I can't wait to bring you back on for more stuff. Again, my name is Christian Galigas. I'm the reservations and events assistant at colleges 9 and 10. Just a couple plugs that I need to put in for colleges 9 and 10. This week, actually, there's a bunch of events that we have planned for Insight to Parasite Week. So for those of you that are familiar with College Night, this is standing in for winter quarter College Night. We have a bunch of events planned. I think tonight, like right now, for the past hour, going for another hour, we have Insight to Parasite Art Therapy. On Thursday, we also have a panel with a bunch of very smart people to talk about Parasite the movie and Asian American representation and filmmaking. There's going to be raffle prizes. I'm going to be doing the production for that. And then coming up, starting February 28th, we have a bunch of programs lined up for Geek Week. Look out for more information on that. We talked about streaming. One of the students in the activities office at College 910 is planning to do a 12-hour charity gaming live stream. Yeah, for Geek Week. So look out for that sort of that information. And I think that'll be it. As of right now, we should be looking strong for Variety Hour to come back next week. Same place, same time. Jess will be back. I'm going to be around. Thanks for coming to check us out.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And then, see everyone next week. Bye. Oh, this one.